Hi, welcome to Man of Steel Fan Gives Hope, the Facebook page on YouTube. So, the question I ask myself these days, and what I used to actually really want, could a Justice League movie ever beat the Avengers movie? Well, let me sort of explain how I came to my conclusion and my conclusion at the end of the video. First of all, we take in perspective what's happened. Okay, we as fans, who's to blame for, first of all, the recent Justice League movie? Now, I for one love the film, and yes, there's things in that could have made it better, and I went in and I had a good time. But deep down, running a page, you want everybody to enjoy the Justice League film. So, what happened and why did it deserve? Well, who is it to blame? Do we blame the critics? The critics that we now come to regard as biased against DC, even though we see some evidence that may not be the case. Do we blame Rotten Tomatoes for its biased handling of the whole Justice League rating system and how it kept it a secret, and why some critics' reviews never managed to get in and were replaced by other people using their email to get in to speak for? Anyway, so there were some complications, and Mark Hughes had already posted was going to hand in his review and found out that it was replaced by somebody else, and somebody got in using his ID. So Rotten Tomatoes has got some, so that is to blame. As critics, Rotten Tomatoes, or is it the biased websites that seem to get more clickbaits in order to put a DC film down? Or is it the fact that people are mourning that they never handled the lead up to Justice League the same way as they did with the Avengers? Who's to blame for that? What was it? Zack Snyder, who actually came up with Man of Steel, thanks to Christopher Nolan, and he came on, and he came up then with the idea of BVS and had a certain direction he wanted to take that in. And then maybe he had an idea of the trilogy where he would go from Man of Steel, BVS, to a two-part Justice League. Is it his part of the fact that maybe the lead up to Justice League was rushed? Or was it had nothing to do with Zack? Was it the constant meddling of Warner Brothers, who decided to cut his film BVS and take things out, and then meddled with the Justice League again by, I don't know, conspiracy theory? Did he walk away for his daughter because Warner Brothers allegedly offered to wait another year for him to start on the project? But then suddenly he walks away and Joss Whedon to come in. So is Warner Brothers in the head of Warner Brothers, are they to blame? Maybe they spent too much time listening to critics and fans in order to change Zack Snyder's film, upsetting many of the Zack Snyder's fans. As Zack Snyder's fans to blame with the constant comments or embargoes, and says, I'm not going to see this until I see the Snyder Cut. Just like what happened with BVS. Many people did not go to see the film because they heard some sort of BVS. Or is it the DC fans? Is it the DC fans that yearn to have some sort of movie like the Marvel films, or like the Christopher Reeve films, with its light in tone and tune? I don't know. There's also the the divide between fans of the Zack Snyder fans and the fans that refuse to see the films because it's not what they vision their heroes would do, is the fact that Warner Brothers has came off because Avengers got started first and they've made so many films that people are now brainwashed into thinking Marvel is the only way to make a film. Mind you, saying that, Marvel fans have came off by saying that they're tired of the way they're handling the heroes, but still, at the same time, the films still proceed to make money because of the franchise. Maybe fans have walked away from DC, and well, the majority are not fans, but majority of the public, because of the previous films that came out, unknowing that some people have not even watched the Ultimate Edition of BVS and seen the differences. There is so much working against the DC franchise right now, and probably, you know, the worst problem that DC has got just now might just be the fans. If you can imagine, as you look at maybe you'll look at my page and see the positivity, and then look at DC groups. Maybe there's too much in-house fighting behind fans. You know, maybe that there's too much. When Justice League came out, there were people saying, "Oh no, I've given up on Warner Brothers. Oh, it's not a Zack Snyder film. It's this." And then the in-house fighting constantly. I don't know if Marvel fans are doing this, but somehow or another, or maybe, the Avengers just came out at the right time. The Avengers just came out at a time in the summertime. We never had much competition at that time. Justice League came out, it's got lots of competition. Pixar films off the backbone of Thor, and it's ready to face Star Wars. So there was a lot riding against it, and it didn't help with the critics and the fans all busting. But as I say, for me, I run the page to be positive. I used to think that in order for DC to be successful, that and for everybody to love DC, then it has to compete with Marvel films. It has to at least get close to $1 billion or meet Avengers head to toe to prove that DC films are just as good. But for me, I think for now, I like to believe now, because I'm slowly changing my ideals, that first of all, I don't think there will ever be a Justice League now to beat the Avengers. And it's not to do with if it was bad or good. Now listen, I enjoyed Justice League. I thought Avengers was okay, but it was not my heroes. My heroes are DC. I thought, and I've often said in my videos, that the Avengers movie played out as a sort of TV movie. And I do believe if Joss Whedon took the Justice League, that it still wouldn't be as good if it was his film. You know, there's now rumours that he's been fired or whatnot and stuff. There is too much handling over the DC products just now. Warner Brothers could be lost into finding it out on no much of a vision. But at least what we've got right now is we have a Batman vs Superman movie, we have a Justice League movie, we have a Man of Steel movie. That is what we can be grateful for. You know, we can be grateful that we've got this. And to me, Justice League film is better movie than the Avengers. Not because of the slapstick comedy or anything like that, or the way it's done, but I just felt it was more action, not less jokes. And because it's my heroes, and for me that's made the Justice League film already better than Avengers. Financially, it's got nothing to do with it. Who knows what will happen when it comes out in DVD? More kids will go and watch it because of the rating and become fans of the Justice League through DVD. They're not interested in critics. There was a time when we used to go to the cinema unknown to critics. Even critics are now hating critics because of the unfair treatment of Justice League. And the unfair treatment of movies in general. Because a lot of people now are using some sort of tomato meter to tell them what sort of film to go and see. So again, it's word of mouth, and Justice League has got legs. And if you think about it, it's going up against all this hatred towards it and all these biased stories before the film came out that probably put people off it. So for what the Justice League film has done and has fought against, top notch. So maybe if you can answer, well, I think if you can imagine a world where all the DC fans stand unite and actually make pages similar to mine, full of positivity, we can actually ease out all the negative bias stuff, and all the fans can start rallying behind Snyder fans, DC fans, comic fans, all stand united, and let's start praising the fact that we have these DC movies in our lifetime. And let's start looking forward, and let's stop worrying about what's going on behind the scenes and just enjoy what we have in front of the screen. As I say, we may never reach the top of Justice League's money, because for me, it was a one-off. It was a fluke. It just came out at the right time, and it was the first of its kind. And DC is one of a kind. Because DC, if you're watching this and you're a fan, it's your kind. And it's up to you and every other DC fan out there to start just enjoying it for what it is. It's your heroes on the big screen. This is Man of Steel fan Gives Hope, hoping that maybe you can make a page even better than me. Be positive out there. Thank you.